Hey, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. Thanks for tuning in to the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM. If you're interested in sponsoring my show, you can send me an email to the Mike Wagner Show at gmail.com, or you could also donate to the podcast. Just go to the Donate Listen site, and you can also donate whatever you like. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. For those who are interested, Anchor can give you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. We've got creation tools, allows you to record and edit podcasts so it sounds great, and they'll distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Google, many more. And you can make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. So download the Anchor app for free or go to Anchor FM to get started.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show brings you famous celebrities and amazing people from all over the world. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. So sit back and relax and enjoy the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page, facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and also on Radio Public and Anchor FM. Also, watch the interview on the Mike Wagner Show YouTube channel, and make sure you subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on YouTube, and take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. We're here with a wonderful lady from the Ontario area. She's the author of You Taste Like Whiskey and Sunshine. That sounds pretty yummy right now. Also radio host on Crushing 40 on Impact Radio USA. She's a resiliency and empowerment coach for women, and talks about the book go through many journeys of overcoming abuse. And without further ado, enjoying a little whiskey and sunshine, which tastes great, ladies and gentlemen, live from lovely Ontario, Kimberly Love. Kimberly, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on.
Anytime. So you're the author of You Taste Like Whiskey and Sunshine. You're a radio host on Crushing 40 on Impact Radio USA. You're also a resiliency and empowerment coach for women. And you also got the book out as well, too, which goes through journeys of overcoming abuse. And before we get into all that, tell us how it got started.
How did it get started?
Correct. Yes. Either on the book or being on as a radio host or as a coach for women.
It kind of all followed one after the other. I published the book a couple of years ago, and it was a pretty big success. And then I was offered the radio show, and then from there, the radio show kind of built into me doing public speaking on stage and stuff. So it's been quite a journey, but I love it, and it all kind of follows each other. Like, my goal is to help other women who have experienced similar things to me, and help them to grow as not only a person but in business as well. And yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
And of course, it goes to the journeys of overcoming abuse, and maybe just some examples and to how you get to where you're at right now.
For me, growing up, I had family abuse, emotional abuse by a sibling, and that she was much older than me, and that kind of followed me all through my life. And it came to a point where, if you don't overcome the things that you experience in childhood, it kind of follows you into adulthood. Mm-hmm. And for me, I started choosing relationships that were similar, where guys weren't very nice to me and stuff like that. And it just got to the point where I realized, I deserve better than this. I'm worth more than this. I'm going to change my life. And I did it. And that kind of, those experiences are what is in You Taste Like Whiskey and Sunshine. And from there, I was able to build into being a coach and being on the radio and helping other women in those types of situations. So for me, it was a matter of wanting something better for my life, and in the same thing, I want that for other people as well.
That was amazing, too. And you talk about being a radio host on Crushing 40 on Impact Radio. You can just tell us how you got on there.
I was actually being interviewed on the show last year for the book, and they got such a great response from the show that I was on that they offered me my own show. So at first I wasn't, because something like that was completely out of my comfort zone. I was used to writing books in my home, kind of alone. And to me, the idea of talking to people and putting myself out there on a much larger scale didn't even occur to me. So it was definitely something that I had to overcome in regards to fear and thinking outside the box and trying new things. But it turned out to be the best thing I ever did, because my career just blossomed out of the whole thing. And now I'm able to speak with women on a weekly basis. And, we always have coaches and entrepreneurs on the show as guests, and a few celebrities have come on. So it's just been a wild ride. But, I didn't expect it, but I couldn't have asked for a better thing to be brought into my life. That's for sure.
That is amazing, too. And what were you doing before you were writing the book? That's one of the things you started. What were you doing before?
Beforehand, I spent the past 15 years doing ghostwriting. So I would, work for companies and provide the content for the websites. I would write books for people who wanted to write books, like either people who wanted to send out a biography, or, someone who just wanted to write a book but didn't have a skill to do it. So I've been ghostwriting for a really long time, and then I decided to kind of put that aside and write a book for myself and, do my own thing after that.
That's amazing. What's one moment influenced you into being a ghostwriter once and for all?
What was the thing that made me be a ghostwriter?
Yes, correct.
Just the idea of creating something from scratch. Like, one of the things that I did as a survivor of abuse was to disappear in other people's stories. Like, I was a big reader as a child. For me, that was kind of my out. When I was having a bad day, I would always read and read. So for me, just flowing into a creative space and writing my own stories was almost like a natural thing.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of your favorite books and writers?
Oh, Stephen King's up there. He's definitely one of my favorites. Little Women was a favorite of mine growing up, but I definitely more into the genre of horror and thriller.
That is something as well, too. And we'll talk a little more about your book and a few other things in just a minute. Listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, also Anchor FM and Radio Public, and watch the interview on the YouTube channel on The Mike Wagner Show. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. We're here with Kimberly Love, the author of You Taste Like Whiskey and Sunshine, also radio host on Crushing 40 on Impact Radio USA, a resiliency and empowerment coach for women. And, of course, just reading the introduction of the book according to the website, Can We Get a Rum and Coke over here? But yet you also label it You Taste Like Whiskey and Sunshine. So we're going to originally call it Rum and Coke, or what's the deal with Whiskey and Sunshine? I'm thirsty for one, I'll tell you that.
I know, isn't whiskey great? No, this title, Whiskey and Sunshine, is based off of one of the stories in the book is based off of my first love, and his favorite drink was whiskey. So that's kind of where that goes. But the rum and Coke is actually my mother's favorite drink, and I was kind of warning her, you might want to go and have a rum and Coke before you break into this book.
Oh, my.
She comes from the generation where, you don't air your dirty laundry. So the book was definitely hard for her to read and accept at first, because, she she's of the era where, you don't talk about those things. And for me, I wanted to talk about them so that I could help somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the things that you're able to discuss in the book compared to your mom and her generation not to discuss?
Well, I think abuse in general. I think back then, in that era, if things happened, you didn't talk about them. And even if your neighbors knew it was happening, they didn't talk about them. Like, nobody was helping anybody, and it was just, that hush-hush secret that you didn't talk about. And, I was able to heal from my abuse, and I think it's important, especially, we're seeing that even in society today with the Me Too movement and stuff like that. I think it's important, if something happens, we should be talking about it and hope that we can erase these things for the next generations to come.
And what are some of the other issues you deal with in the book?
Well, the book is in part about not only what happened to me, but my journey through it. So there's a lot of fun stories in there as well. I was an amateur boxer for a while.
Oh,
nice.
I
was flying airplane. So, I mean, there's things in there about my journey into becoming who I'm supposed to be and what that meant after healing. So it's not only just like, hey, this happened to me, but it's how you can change your life and bring the good things into your life as well.
It's amazing how I mentioned about amateur boxing. You see a lot of women out there, getting into boxing whatsoever. Layla Ali kind of just started the whole thing thanks to her dad, Muhammad. I'm Superman. What was it? Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, stuff like that. But were you on that path to be like Layla Ali, or just like, just doing it just for fun, amateur boxing?
I was doing it for fun, but it was definitely more in the professional environment where you did open sparring, and at the time that I started, there wasn't a lot of women doing it, so I would be sparring up against, 200-pound men. So it was definitely something that was probably more for fun, less for fun, but more as a skill to learn how to take care of myself. And I was definitely in the same era as Ronda Rousey, and you've seen how she kind of pulled women into MMA, and now it seems like there's just as much women in the sport as there are men, so
that is
a good thing.
That is amazing, too. You mentioned Ronda Rousey and quite a few others, and who are some of your, favorite people growing up, like, say, you're talking about athletes, or maybe even like, actors, watching movies or TV, or maybe even singers and artists, or in this case, writers?
Well, I guess growing up, one of my favorite actresses was always Julia Roberts. I kind of respected her. I've seen her since she was young, and we're close to the same age. And I think that the one thing I respected about her was that she created such a huge career in her life, and she never once did nudity. She never once really put herself out there, but she would still be able to create a career that people could respect and, without kind of showing skin. And I like that about her, because there's a lot of actresses out there now that don't have a problem with, bearing it all in a movie. And I think that, that can take something away from the performance and even be something that they regret down the line. So she was definitely a favorite of mine. And Ronda Rousey is definitely, I know she's not in the game anymore, but I always respected her as an athlete because, she was undefeated for the longest time. And then, I just liked the way that she was a powerhouse in the industry for women.
Mm-hmm. And also, too, how about like with, I think we tried to talk about singers, and just wanted to see, who are some of the ones you listen to, and also writers, too, especially.
Yeah, for singers, I've always kind of been in the, I can't even say that I have any, popular female singers. I kind of grew up listening to Eminem and, Smashing Pumpkins. I was always into alternative singing. So for me, it was more bands as opposed to an individual singer, but I always kind of liked the rougher stuff. My brother was big into heavy metal, so I grew up listening to Guns N' Roses and Metallica and all that sort of thing. So that's kind of the vein that I'm interested in. But again, as far as writers go, Stephen King is probably somebody I respected. He even wrote a book one time about how to be a good writer. and I kind of followed that sort of thing, how he built his career, not just the stories he told, but how he was able to bring such a success into his life.
That is amazing, too, and we'll talk a little bit more about your book as well, too. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page, facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, also Anchor FM and Radio Public, and also take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show and watch the interview on YouTube as well. We're here with Kimberly Love, the author of You Taste Like Whiskey and Sunshine. She's a radio host on Crushing 40 on Impact Radio USA, also resiliency and empowerment coach for women. And, of course, about the book, You Taste Like Whiskey and Sunshine. You can just maybe tell us a little more about, what was your favorite chapter to write and what was, the most difficult to write?
Probably one of my favorite chapters to write is my experience with boxing and how I got into it. I met a boxing coach when I was just at the gym, and he's not only skilled as a boxer, but he's a really inspiring individual, and he helped me actually get out of one of the bad situations that I was in with one of my boyfriends. And he was all about mindset and how you can change your mindset from bad to good, and how that can change around your life as well. So that was probably my favorite chapter to write, because it kind of goes through my whole experience with not only learning how to be a boxer, but becoming strong mentally as well.
That is amazing too. And what's probably the most difficult the difficult part in the book for you?
Well, the most difficult, there's a chapter that I speak about my sister and my relationship with her, and how she tried to destroy me as a human being growing up. And that was really hard to write, because for the longest time I didn't want to talk about it, you know what I mean? And it was a difficult place to be in, especially because it's a family member, and everyone expects their family to be there for them and to take care of them, and that was just not my experience growing up. So it was hard to get all that out, but at the end, when the book was finished, I found it more therapeutic than it was damaging to me. And I think one of my favorite things about people reading it, I've had a lot of fans write into me and say that, this book helped me. I went through something similar like that, and it changed my life. And, it kind of makes it all worth it in the end to, you go through something difficult, but when it's helping someone else, it just makes it for me.
That is amazing too. And later you became a resiliency and empowerment coach for women. You can just tell you how I got started on that.
Well, as part of the radio program, I met a woman named Karen Donaldson, and she's an international speaker. I was at one of her events, and when I told her my story, she said, a lot of women need to hear this sort of thing, and it would be great on a platform where you're in front of an audience of 25,000. Like she said, your message could be more powerful in something like that. So I ended up doing a mentoring program under her for over a year. And through that, I just gained the experience to not only be able to speak publicly in front of people, but to turn the story in a way that, you can reach someone in the span of a 15-minute talk or a 30-minute talk. And it would just open up another avenue for me to tell my story and to reach new people and to start going around the world. So that's definitely 2020 is going to be more in the vein of doing more and more public speaking and visiting conventions and stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited about it.
That sounds amazing too. And where will you be public speaking in 2020?
Mostly in the U.S., but my dates aren't booked yet, but I'm hoping to start in the U.S. more, and then eventually group out from there.
Mm-hmm. And also, too, you've been an empowerment coach for quite some time. And did you have to go for any school or special training or try to get a degree or anything like that? Or, how did that come about?
No, it's actually just, personal experience and learning how to talk to people. I mean, I'm not counseling anybody or anything like that. It's just more kind of inspiring someone to change their life in the same way that I did. More of the information that I have on it is on my website for anybody that wants to visit it. It's www.kimmylove.com. That's KIMMILOVE. So, yeah, there's a lot more information about where you can see me and where you can find me in the future.
And that's amazing, too. And also, you're also available for counseling as well, too, and they can reach you on that website as well.
Yes.
That is fantastic. Okay. All right. So I have to say, it's just a few minutes here. And where can people get your book, You Taste Like Whiskey and Sunshine?
Probably the easiest way to get it is online on Amazon. That's where it's currently listed. There's a few bookstores like Chapters in Canada and Barnes & Noble in the United States that carry it. But it's most easily accessible online, either through my website or on Amazon.
That is amazing, too. And who do you consider your biggest influence in your career?
Probably my mother. She's been my biggest support system through everything that I've gone through, and, she believes in me. So she's definitely been the biggest influence in my life. And
what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Never give up. Go after what you want, regardless of how hard it is to get to where you want to be. And that's what's gotten me to where I've been, is that I've never given up.
That is amazing, too. And once again, Kimberly Love, the author of You Taste Like Whiskey and Sunshine, available on Amazon. And where can people hear you on the radio?
I'm on, if you go onto the Impact Radio USA site, they can find my podcast there, also on my website. It's just right now being switched on to Spotify and iTunes. So you can find everything on my website, and then it'll be turned into iTunes and Spotify in the future.
Okay, that's great. And what's your website again?
www.kimmylove.com. That's KIMMILOVE.
That is great. Okay, Kimberly, just wanted to say a big thank you for your time. You definitely taste like whiskey and sunshine. It's been fantastic. I'll go have a rum and Coke afterwards, and look forward to having you on again soon. And please do us a favor. We'll definitely have you back on and keep us up to date.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. Also, become a sponsor of the program and or donate today at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again tomorrow for another episode of The Mike Wagner Show.